Hey guys, Cans97 Stowe 171. Another trucking video here in American Truck Simulator. Actually started this trip the other day and got interrupted. Driving the Freightliner Cascadia and got about a 30-mile drive to the pickup location. We are in Laredo, Texas, and this is going to be a super long one, which
keep left and then turn left.
I may or may not post. I also may test to see how long the video capture
Turn left.
actually works. It's a good example of the Texas turnaround here. I have these all through Texas. Decided to drive the Cascadia for this. A couple things, it's a little quieter. And this is going to be like a over 2,000 mile drive, which I may post or may not post. I don't really know. We'll see how you guys feel about the longer videos. I have already recorded one that was a little over an hour. You guys let me know if you'd rather me break it up into smaller sequences or what.
Go straight on.
Actually, I haven't been to Laredo in a long time. I used to actually go here pretty regularly when I was driving. But that was a long time ago.
And then turn left. Turn left.
That actually is not realistic. Normally on an intersection like this, where you got a green light on one side, as you get to the other here to turn left, this light would have been green by the time I got here. That's not very realistic of Texas in general. Usually across an intersection like that, they time the lights so that you start going, and then by the time you get to the other side, it's green. It's not always true, but it's usually true. But there are a few intersections that are exceptionally wide where they don't do that. So that could have been one of those, but
get ready to turn right.
It's a good example
turn
of it.
Right,
Also,
and then turn right.
We're on a 2-lane service road
turn
there.
Right.
So we might get a good example of how those work. Why do you have two of those? This load was from yesterday. Like I said, I got interrupted and had to go take care of something in real life. So
This is where it ends.
all right. Yep, that's the one. So it's 2,195 miles going from Laredo up and across. That'll probably take a while because it might even be not on the interstate system because this would be I-35. That's 20. That's I-10. Although this could be I-10. I don't think so though. I think they don't label it. You can't zoom in any farther, but I'm pretty sure that's Interstate 10. So we may end up taking like state routes all the way across Texas. Interesting. Okay. I may have to break this up into multiple days because I got stuff to do too in real life, and I don't know that I'll be able to actually do this in one recording, but that's okay. As long as they don't do an update. I don't normally like splitting. What the hell is the parking space? Yeah, it's on the other side. I don't normally like splitting my trips across multiple days. If by chance they do a program, they do an update, um, it'll if enough of a change happens, it'll say, your existing trip has been canceled. You won't be penalized for this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, that's great, but what about the 50% of the trip I already did? So I normally don't like to do trips that are going to take, that I can't finish that same drive. Well, I fucked that all up, didn't I? Forgot how, oh, stop. I forgot how much longer this truck is and how much longer the trailer is versus European Truck Simulator. Doesn't turn quite the same way. Nope. Outside of the box just a little bit. So that's what we're hauling. I don't remember. That's 39,000 pounds, so pretty heavy. for this truck.
Time to get the job done.
I mean, compared to if I was hauling this with that cab over or the big long nose truck. But I kind of wanted this to be a little bit more of a realistic drive. And as I said, this truck is much quieter, a little smoother, and more realistic of a real truck. So. And as I think I mentioned, with the traffic turned on, you know, you really kind of need to drive slower. You drive like a yahoo and you end up in problems. When there's no traffic on the roads, you can kind of get away with it. But having a truck that accelerates a little slower is ends up being kind of an advantage with the traffic.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left, and then turn right.
Fortunately, in the game, the trains are not nearly as long as they are in real life. That would be really annoying.
Turn right.
Curious as to what it's... Yep, we're going to be taking state routes. I wonder... You know... Well, this is straighter, but I'm not certain that it actually wouldn't be faster to go up I-35 to I-10 and across. It's going to be a long, slow drive because it's almost no interstates at all. Especially across Texas here where, you know, you can kind of haul ass through there. But this is a road I've never taken before, so that might be, might be kind of cool. Alright, we'll just follow the nav. So here's a good example. This is a 2-lane service road next to the highway. And you can see the highway exit ramp is right there. and it comes down to right here, we have to yield. There's a yield sign right up here. We have to yield to the oncoming traffic from the highway as they come down this ramp. So as you approach here in real life, you have to look over your shoulder, make sure there's no truck coming like that, and then he stops, which he's not supposed to do. Probably I intruded into the intersection just a little bit.
Turn left. Get ready to turn right.
So now we're going to go to the other side of the
Turn
highway,
right.
and this is the service road over here. It's also a 2-lane service road. There actually may not be a service road on this side of the highway, and there isn't in some parts of Texas. You have a 2-lane service road only on one side of the highway. Some areas like Midland, Odessa, there are 2-lane service roads on both sides of the highway. Well, the speed limit is 75 through here, so this thing takes forever to accelerate, which it would in real life. Inspection station, 45 miles per hour when flashing. It was not flashing. In the U.S., this would be the immigration checkpoint. In the U.S., you have to be a little careful because in Texas we don't have split speed limits, so that says 75 miles an hour. That's the speed limit for cars, and you can run into situations where on a road, this seems pretty straight, but you can be following the speed limit, but really it's too fast for a semi-truck with a load. There will sometimes be a sign, that last speed limit sign said 60 ahead. And it went to 62, this little town. And here's a bit of a curve where if you hit this at 75 miles an hour, you could possibly be in trouble. Hey guys, give me just a second. I need to adjust my mirrors a little bit. You notice, like, in the digital mirror over here, I can see the trailer a little bit. I cannot in this mirror over here, or this one. I think I have it adjusted. Just a little too far out. See if I did the same thing. Now, see, that one's okay. Huh. I think when I adjusted them the last time, I had a box trailer, which would be more visible.
Keep right. Keep right.
35 miles an hour through this town. With traffic turned on. Gonna have to do this. This would be why you might take the interstate if you have you know, a relatively slight difference in total miles between interstate and a state highway, this would be one of the reasons you might pick the interstate, even though it's a bit farther. It might actually be faster, and or it would be less stress. You know, on the highway, just set the cruise at 65 or whatever and relax.
Go straight on.
Versus having to deal with a small town every, you know, 10 miles that you got to slow down to 35 for and then speed back up and then back down and back up. Really eats into your time and stress level when you could have just set the cruise at 65 on the highway and driven, you know, maybe 20 minutes longer, but that 20 minutes is a lot less stressful. So, on the other hand, the state route here in the game makes it a bit more interesting. But again, with no traffic turned on, you would just whiz through this light. You would just ignore them. Not really realistic. It is a long traffic light.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
I hate intersections like this. There's no oncoming traffic. They have a green light over there, and I'm sitting at a red arrow when I could have easily made that traffic light. Some places they'll have a blinking yellow turn arrow, which means you can turn left if it's safe to do so. Other times they don't, and then you got to wait for the green arrow. Even though this entire time, except for when that car was going through, I could have safely turned left across that lane. I hate that shit in real life. There's places in the city I live that's like that. There are places that have the blinking yellow arrow, and other places that don't.
Keep right and then turn right. Turn right.
Slow down to 45. Weird, that looks like another checkpoint going the other direction. Why the hell would they need one there? Going that way. It's kind of weird. Oh, probably for traffic coming out of Del Rio. I don't know. That's just kind of weird. Looks like another checkpoint. again up to 75 and then
Keep
reduce
right.
speed again back down to 45. God. Should have taken the interstate, guys.
Go straight on.
I just keep checking that map thinking there's some way to detour, but not at this point. We're almost halfway across that distance anyway, so. Something I've noticed about like the display on this truck, this digital display, there's a couple of trucks that have a big display like that. There's an awful lot of empty space on that on that LCD screen. It's like you got this big ass panel, and then you choose to use these tiny ass little numbers and fonts. Like you can make the speed number there 3 times that size, and it wouldn't matter at all. Same thing with the temperatures and the clock at the top right there. Like you have all that empty space to the right side, to the left side, in between the gauges. And I find that in real life. My car has a totally digital display, and
Go straight on.
a lot of the screen area is just like empty space. Like, why? Make the speedo. I mean, the speedo number is really the thing you want to see the biggest. In real life, you would want that to be the largest number, so it's easy to see.
Keep right.
Ambulance. That ambulance came right across the corner. Right around that corner. Excuse me. So far, we're at 28 minutes on the recording, and it says it's still recording. I'm kind of curious to see what happens. Pretty sure this will be my longest delivery ever in ATS. But pretty close to it. Longest, I mean, not just recording, but longest trip. I was just sitting here thinking, if I have the transmission set to high power mode, I do, real automatic high power mode. I wanted to let you guys know, I've noticed in some trucks, especially some of the modded trucks, this setting here, high power mode versus, you have several choices, disabled, normal, and economy. I think these are flip-flopped. I don't remember what truck it was I was driving, but in economy mode, it would rev up way more and accelerate significantly faster in economy mode and high power mode was really slower. And then in some other trucks, it seems like it's correct. So I think there may be a bug where this setting is not always correct. So if you guys are driving an ATS and you find that like this truck seems to be shifting kind of short, let's try it. Let's put it in economy mode and just see what happens. It could be that it's reversed. At the next stoplight, we'll take a look. No, I don't think so. You could also completely disable it and do a sequential shifter and just shift manually. I don't think that made any difference. Just feels like it's shifting way early. But it could just be this particular engine has a torque band that's, narrow. I had a couple of trucks that were like that. It came from driving it's a International Pro. It was when I was working for Ruan. You guys saw the videos on that. The older trucks had Cummins engines. I don't know what it was. They tended to like to rev up a bit more. And then we got some new trucks that had the International Max Force engine. And those made peak power or peak torque at 900 RPM. And it did not like being revved up. So you had to shift quicker and lower, but it actually pulled way better overall. A lot of the older drivers hated those trucks because it was such a different RPM range. They were used to revving an engine up, and if you did that, the thing didn't go anywhere. It just sat there and didn't do shit. You needed to shift to the next gear sooner, and if you kept it about that 900 RPM range, it pulled way better. But you had to adapt to that torque curve being dramatically different. It was a significant difference in power output. With the same load going up a particular hill that I always drove up in the old Cummins engine trucks, I could go 25 miles an hour up that hill. And with the International Max Force engine, I could go 35 miles an hour up that hill with the same load. So it was a pretty significant difference in usable engine power. The engine was also a lot quieter. I don't know whether it was reliable or not. I was only there for another year.
Go straight on. Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right. Go straight on.
Now, I think that right mirror is too far in. I just noticed going around that corner that I lost the end of the trailer. Still. when I went around that corner, I lost the edge of the trailer in the right mirror. Doesn't help. The shape of the cargo, shape of the cargo in this case is kind of hidden there. You can't really see it.
Go straight on.
Yep. Yep, that was the red light, guys. You find the AI traffic does this shit a lot, where it doesn't know how to zipper properly. I reduced the number in the traffic setting. It still seems a little high to me. There's a scenic overlook right here. Why don't we pull in and actually do that? Might be kind of fun. Oh. It's in that area down there below. We can't get to it from the road. So it's right down over there somewhere. But we can kind of do it ourselves. I screwed up that truck back there badly. He was going to go around me, and then he saw the oncoming traffic here, and another inspection station. Another scenic overlook right here. Let me Turn off the mirrors. I don't think it matters with the scenic overlook. I think it disables those. But all right. That was pretty cool. Not the most scenic overlook I've seen in the video. Oh boy. Not the most scenic overlook I've seen in the game, but we've only driven like less than 200 miles. Coming up on 45 minutes on the video, and it's still recording, so.
Go straight on.
I was thinking that mirror was looking way too much at the sky. Like, you don't need to be looking at the sky in your mirror. It's like, that's not helpful information. This one is up too. It's too far down. Yeah, that's about what you need. You don't need to be seeing like sky way the hell up here. What you need to be looking at is what's on the ground, not up in the air. Clearly not above the telephone poles. I must have adjusted those mirrors with the trailer I had on previously. I don't know.
Keep
Yes.
right,
It's a
and then turn right.
It's a fuel station right there, but we don't need fuel.
Turn right.
I think when I get to the 1 hour mark, guys, I'm gonna break this off. I actually need to get ready to go to work for real. It seems like a good time to stop. But at least it'll be an hour-long video, and that tells me that the recorder is capable of doing a 1 hour recording. So at least that way, on the shorter trips that I know I can do in under an hour, I won't have to bother breaking it up. It'll make posting to YouTube a lot easier, because then I won't even have to involve my video editor. I'll just upload the video directly from the saved folder. It saves a step. And possibly some image quality as well. There's actually a upload to YouTube option right inside the screen recorder. I haven't tried that. It'd be interesting to see how that works. Although I think you would have to give it your YouTube credentials, which I'm not sure I really want to do. I mean, it's not that hard to open up YouTube and drag and drop a file over to YouTube. work out pretty good too. It's not that far from being dark. And I honestly don't really enjoy driving at night in the game. Especially on dark, twisty backcountry roads, which it looks like most of this trip will be. Out on the open interstate, it's not quite such a big deal, but
Go straight on and then keep left. Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
let's see where we are. Yeah, Port Stockton. Right there. God. Through Carlsbad, that's going to be all state routes. Again, you're kind of like at a decision point. Like, are you better off to just go west through El Paso? Like, that's all interstate. Or are you better to go up through these state routes? The whole trip is going to be back roads, state routes, pretty much. Except for right here. I think all of this is going to be... No, that's Interstate 84. Okay. Now, so that's how far we've come in an hour. So it's going to be like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It's going to be like a 6-hour video. Or something like that. I'm a little bit tempted to go take the highway for this part right here. Regardless of what it thinks is better. Because from here to through Van Horn and through all the way, you can haul ass. From here over here, the traffic is pretty light. So I think we're going to do that. I know the back roads are kind of fun and different, but let's see what it does there. Yeah. Let's do that. What's the difference? So 1,840 miles versus... So it's 900, 1,900. So it's like not even 100 miles more. But I promise you it's going to take a lot less time and be a lot less stressful, at least from here forward. And then at this point, we'll jump back on the state routes and do some more of that, I think, which is kind of fun. Going to go through Moab. There'll be some interesting things to see through here. But going up through Carlsbad and Roswell, Artesia, this... I don't know. It'll give me a break from this hour of backroad shit we just did. So let's do that, and then maybe we'll get over here to Van Horn, and it's about 7:30. So by that time, it'll be start to get dark in the game. It'll be a good time to maybe break this video up. I'll take a break in the game. It'll be morning and daylight. Then I'll pause the game and come back with you guys and finish the drive over the next day or two, maybe even.
Let's do this. Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Well, this is going to be fun. I need to go external to see hell's going on? No.
Go straight on.
One thing I wish they would do in the game is allow you to control more precisely the position of that right-hand digital mirror. I'd like to move it over to the top and far right edge of the screen a little bit more. And I'd also wouldn't mind being able to reduce the size of the nav screen there. You know, the truck has nav built in there. Come on, why are you stopping? What are you doing? Oh, it's a red light on the other side. It's like, what? I thought, is there a train? What the hell's going on? Yeah, this, you know, the nav screen in the lower right corner there, I wish they could reduce that, or you could configure it, make it about 3/4 that size. Or move it to a different location. I don't know. I mean, you can make it go away. That's not that one. It's... You can do that. But see, if you like, you can remove the bottom function numbers there. But if you do that, then let it resize downward a little bit so it doesn't intrude into the visual space as much. You can do that, I guess, too. You know, but I don't know. Small things. You know, maybe if I was running in 1440p,
Go straight on.
you know, the navigation on the truck dash maybe would be more visible. It's a beautiful sunset, isn't it? Look at that. It often is in the Southwest here. Almost every day is a beautiful sunset.
Go straight on. Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right. Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Something in the mirrors right over there kind of block your view. And of course he's turning left. I could have gone. You gotta be careful because that is a two-way service road. Excuse me. So we might have an example of no, it condenses. The two-way would be coming from over there. So the two-way service road actually is over there to the right, and then merges into the side road there next to the interstate. If you've never driven in Texas, it's a little bit odd when you first start, but after being here for a while, it becomes second nature. Truck seems pretty slow for 500. It's 500 horsepower, and this freight is 39,000 pounds. It's not even that heavy. Like, I'm flat out. And I can't get it to go over 60 miles an hour. So, and there's no custom engines available for the Cascadia, at least not yet. And there probably aren't any engines in real life that are over 500 horsepower for this truck. That sounds about right. One of my complaints when they do updates for this game is, like I said, you're in the middle of doing a trip like this. You could be halfway through, and it'll say game update has happened, map reset, all existing deliveries have been canceled. No penalization, but all the effort you put in towards the trip that you already did is just gone. And to me, if they're going to do that, what they ought to do is just pay you what at least give you the monetary value of whatever the trip was. Trip canceled, load considered completed, and give you the money for the trip. I've had that happen a few times, and it's kind of a disincentive to do long trips. I don't know. I need to look and see if there's any way to prevent it from updating when you do Steam. When you launch Steam, if there's a way to force it to not automatically do an update, that would solve that problem as well. Alright, guy, what are you doing? Well, we're an hour and 5 minutes and it's still recording, so... put every light available on this trailer, and it's funny from that view, those lights don't look that bright. But in the rear view mirror, they look a lot brighter. It's kind of weird. So we're already at Van Horn. So in that short amount of time, we've already driven from there to there. And it took us an hour to go from there to there. That's what I was talking about as to why you often really don't want to do this. We probably would have been better off to go up 35 to I-10, even though it's way longer. It ends up being actually way faster. So I'm going to go ahead and try to keep going. Maybe go through El Paso, maybe in Las Cruces. There's a try to find a rest area. There's a rest area right here. So let's put that in there. That way it'll be in the navigation. We'll get through El Paso, which, by the way, is a pretty realistic version of El Paso. The only thing they don't have here is that's interesting. 62. 54 splits the city up the middle, and then you have there's a loop, 375 loop that goes around the city like this. It actually also goes down here along the border highway. So they don't have the 375 loop. There's really not much on the loop that would be of use in the trucking simulator, but they do have I-54 because that takes you all the way up to Alamogordo, which is a pretty major smaller town. And then the airport. This is probably Airway. And then the airport would be, well, this part is not really to scale. But on my interstate system, they have it modeled pretty accurately.
Time to hit the road.
El Paso has some pretty cool structures, overpasses and things. But because they don't have that 375 loop, there's a really cool spaghetti bowl multi-layer overpass system right at 375 and I-10. And they don't have it there because the 375 loop isn't there. It's kind of unfortunate. But they do have the one at 54, which is not as large. Driven through there quite a lot. It's just kind of neat to see, realistic details in a city. Kind of appreciate the attention to detail that they put into stuff like that. It's not to scale, but, that's okay.
Let's go.
Okay, guys. Little change in plans here. Just thought about this. It's night. You're not going to be able to see anything as we drive through El Paso. And there's some pretty cool decorative stuff in that city right off the highway. So what I'm going to do is I went in and looked at navigation. There's a rest area. We actually just missed one. It was too close to do anything about that by the time I realized. But there's a cool little place on the other side of the highway here in a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is pull in there. That'll kind of let you see how you exit the highway and get to the other side. I think it's a pretty interesting structure, if I remember correctly. We'll take a night break, and then we'll drive through El Paso, and then I've got about an hour, actually, until I need to head out to work. And
Keep right, and then exit right.
so I think that's what I'm going to do, is just maybe I'll split the video at that point once we get through El Paso.
Exit right.
Yeah, Horizon City and Sapporo. This is a real exit. In real life, off to the right here, there's a Love's truck stop, which That is the correct colors for Loves, but that's not a Loves.
Go straight on and then keep left.
We actually want to turn left here.
Keep left and then turn left.
Come on, go.
Turn left.
In real life, this is a Petro's truck stop here on the right.
Go straight on and then keep right.
Don't know.
Keep right and then turn right. Turn right.
That's a Beacon car wash, truck wash,
Make a
right there.
U-turn.
So why don't we go ahead and refuel the truck while we're here.
Okay, let's find a new route.
Yes, I know. Be quiet.
Please make a U-turn when possible.
Turn off the engine. Press the enter key, and then... Wow, 323 for diesel. That's a lot cheaper than Europe. Didn't take that much. Let me go in and oh, it won't let me do it while interesting, it won't let me oh. I set a waypoint right here, and since I'm past that waypoint, it went away. Usually there's a reset navigation button up here to like let it reset the nav, but it already did. So now what we're going to do is just find a parking space. Just pull into one of these. It'll say, turn off the engine. And then press enter for a brake. And it's daylight. It's also an interesting way you can help get your money up a little bit, because while you're sleeping, your drivers are making money still, whatever trips they happen to be on. So if you're taking a load where you have the time to take breaks and not miss your delivery time, it can be an advantage to take a break at night because you accelerate the income process a bit. You can actually take 2 breaks in a row. I don't want to do that, of course, because then it'll be afternoon and we'll have wasted some time, and I want the daylight. So, all right, let's head out. How the hell do you get out of here? Oh, there's an exit right here. This Petro is actually, it's about this size. It's pretty big.
Recomputing.
Now we're going to be dealing with traffic because it's 9 in the morning. So that's a negative of having taken a break, is it's going to be a little more challenging to get out of here. And in fact, in reality, this is a very challenging location to get out of, because you have traffic coming from the west. This Horizon area is a huge amount of houses that have been built through here. And so there's suddenly a huge amount of traffic. We actually may not be able to get out of here. Or we're just going to have to barge our way out. Sometimes if you nudge your way out into the intersection, the other cars will stop. There's a cop car. you would never do this in real life, but this isn't real life. What I should have done is go out the exit that I came in, and it would have put me on this cross street here. This is exactly what happens in real life at this exit. It backs up terribly. There's just too much traffic for the exchange up here. So what I should have done is come out the other exit where I went in, turned left out of the truck stop, and been at the traffic light. In real life, this intersection is
Keep
wider
left,
than this. There's
and
actually
then turn left.
6 lanes, I think. This one also has one of these
Turn left.
U-turn lanes. Yeah, I think they should have done a different design for this exchange in real life. They didn't really expect when they built it to have the amount of housing that got built in this area. And if you go out to Anthony, New Mexico area, there's, I think it's exit 0 in real life. We're going to do the Texas turnaround here, the dedicated U-turn lane. They did a figure 8 double roundabout at that exchange at Anthony. So you come off the highway and you enter a gigantic roundabout that goes
Keep left.
to the right,
And then exit left.
across the highway, so you could go back on the highway. And then we're going to enter onto the
Exit
highway here,
left.
on the I-10. You go then across, there's a 2-lane bridge across the interstate, and on the other side there's another giant roundabout. So it looks like kind of a giant figure 8. Now that intersection doesn't have a huge amount of traffic, but let me tell you, I think if they had scaled that up like fourfold and done the same thing here at Horizon, it would have functioned better, because the traffic wouldn't actually stop. It would slow down as you enter the roundabout.
Keep left.
But that interchange in real life, like it was in the game here, is on a hill, and you have 2 truck stops there. So the trucks are on a hill starting off, and it just takes forever for the vehicles to get the momentum going, and then the light turns yellow and you stop again. So that's Airport Road with the little these things, these wind turbine things. Those actually work in real life, or they used to. They're also LED lit at night, and they change colors. It's pretty cool. So this is the 54 exchange coming up here in a little bit. They have a lot of decorative stuff, you know. So this is 54. 54 north goes north to Alamogordo. South, it goes down to the 375 loop and also Juarez. But this is a big spaghetti bowl here. And everything is like turquoise blue and tan colored. They do a nice job of decorating the highways in Texas, especially West Texas and also New Mexico. There's an old observatory. See the dome right there on the right? That was for a telescope at some point in the past.
Keep left.
And then at night, these overpasses, see the little arches on the overpass bridge? Those are actually lit with LEDs at night, so it's pretty cool. They're talking about building over the top of the highway here and filling in this entire space with a giant plaza. So, and then building on top of that. So over there on the left, see, that's a giant pickaxe right there. That is for the UTEP Miners. It's their sports team for University of Texas El Paso. And you see little pickaxes all over the city. Just their school motto, I guess. I think because the school started originally as a like mining and
Keep left.
they did like archaeological, like geological stuff, mining, drilling, stuff like that is where they started, and so that's why they have that as their mascot. Welcome to New Mexico. So what I'm going to do here is I just
Keep
want
right,
just
and then turn right.
oh yeah, we're going to take towards Albuquerque.
Turn right.
Okay. We've got too much invested in this video so far. As far as time, I don't want to risk it crashing. I know now that I can go at least an hour and 20 minutes on a recording. So I'm going to pause here and stop the video and then restart it just so we don't lose all of that. I'll be right back, guys.